their costume.
But I think the Japanese adopted the Chinese way of dress.
But they're also good at making complicated things more complicated. So they do have the casual Japanese traditional clothes. It's the yukata. That's the casual one, and people use it more. That's still related to Chinese.
That's not worn outside the house. That's only worn in the house.
Yeah, that's basically very casual. But then they have the kimono. I think it's way more complicated than any of the Chinese counterparts.
It's very complex.
Yeah, Chinese has some more complicated variants, like that's associated with more formal situations, but not that complicated. They added things to it.
But the Japanese can ritualize everything.
Yeah.
Every single aspect of life is ritualized in Japan in ways that it's not anywhere else.
Yeah.
But the root is Chinese.
Right.
If you go all the way back to the origin, it's Chinese.
Yeah.
Because the Neolithic Japanese culture was in no way like the subsequent Japanese culture. It's no way Japanese culture didn't develop from their own original culture. They developed from China's Neolithic culture.
Yeah. I feel very so when not just in Japan, but just also in China and all in different cultures in general. When something that's more natural gets ceremonialized, I have a very complicated feeling toward that. So on one hand, when you ceremonialize some things and you define what is good, what is bad, but that's actually a social construct.
Of course.
So you're actually limiting the creativity of that practice. People will become if that standard gets accepted, people will be more self-conscious when they try to do something new, try to explore, experiment new things. But on the other hand, like traditional cultures like tea, like serving tea and like martial arts, these things, traditional was taught always taught personally, not sometimes this in not even a book, and it's from person to person, from teacher to student, and through very intimate interaction. But if you don't formalize it without ceremony, you don't formalize it. It's not scalable, And in modern society, most things, the things that can actually pass down from generation to generation, are those that has been formalized, like classical music, right? Like in Japan, the kyudo is very well preserved, but that's because they at a certain point they decide, well, we're gonna try to make standard. There's no one single standard right now. There's several standards, but only a few standards, and people at least try to formalize it. And but in China, it's like Tai Chi. Tai Chi is not it's not formalized very very much. So there's many different schools, and it's very creative, and there's many talented people. But it makes it hard to tell between the fake ones and the authentic ones. There's no book you can refer to tell. Okay, are they doing the right thing? So you might also, if you're already good, this master is actually a good martial artist, and this self-claimed master is actually just calm. But if you just started as a student, how can you tell? And without formalizing any art, that's the dilemma.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that any of those practices have their origins in philosophy and spiritual belief.
Yeah.
That's then manifested through that practice.
Yeah.
So if you have an understanding of that basis, then it would then be easier to determine who is real and who is not.
How do you reach the core? How do you when you start from zero? How do you?
I think it has to do with the experience. If you have the experience of just the surface of the practice itself, without any understanding or respect for the philosophy that created that practice, then you don't really have that practice.
That's right.
It's like cutting a flower off the plant with the roots. What is the reality there? That flower is now dying. The plant with the roots is still alive.
Yeah.
And I think that people are, in a way, like plants in that they need their roots to survive.
Yeah.
So, to me, a person who's practicing the movements without understanding the philosophy or or what motivates those movements is it's like a cut flower.
Yeah.
It may be beautiful, but it's not going to last.
Yeah,
Because
and
it doesn't
I
have
think that's
roots.
right. Because when something is actually it's motivated by that core philosophy, and even without a third person giving a book telling what's right and wrong, and when you experience it and when you actually listen, and you can find its inherent beauty even without any outside reference. Versus something that's probably just superficially beautiful, then it's fun for a while, and then you exhausted the fun of it very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.